Warning. The following podcast is intended for a mature audience due to the dropping of bombs of the F, S, B, and C varieties. Listener discretion is advised.
And now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Ooh, welcome to Waffle Box, a podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. Coming up on episode 160, when is a boneless wing not a boneless wing? Whenever, apparently, according to Ohio. How far would you go to represent your country at the Olympics? And Deadpool and Wolverine right together in this week's movie review. I am Mike Fish, and I am joined, as always, by the main man from San Fran. It's Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how you doing, buddy?
The Mike Pool to my Kush-Verine. What's good, y'all? Kush-Verine here, coming to you with the Waffle Box. It's the People's Podcast. It's the best part of Wednesdays because you accept no substitutions. We coming to you all the way from the future home of Super Bowl 60. You love us because we do this, and we do this because we love you. What is up, PL?
What's up, guys? Holy shit. What a week it's been. I know we're talking about Deadpool and Wolverine in the movie review segment later, but I just can't hold my excitement. I couldn't believe it when and especially made cameos.
Ooh,
I never
easy.
saw that coming.
No spoilers yet, Lathan. No spoilers yet. But, hell of a movie. And it's one of those exciting moments, Kush. It's one of those rare, exciting moments. It's like when a shooting star catches your eye and you get the time to make a wish. It's that rare, beautiful moment when both Kush and I have actually seen the movie that we're about to review, and we can actually talk about it together. It's exciting. Oh, but anyway, other than cinematic adventures, what have you been up to this week, buddy?
I had my annual outage with the National Hot Rod Association in Sonoma, California this week. I don't follow the sport very much, but we've talked about this before. Like I enjoy working for these folks. It's as long as you can survive the heat, it's one of the easiest gigs ever. And I appreciate, like, there's no weight classes, there's no men's division, no women's division. Just like, if you can fit in any one of these four vehicles and keep it straight, you're in. Get it on. So didn't even see it. One person's car exploded at the start line.
That's not
They're
weird.
thankfully okay, but when they towed it to the finish line, like I got a great photo on my phone, Mike. I gotta show it to you later. But it's just like 12 people just held around this car trying to medicate it, and just the driver just sitting there on the ground with their helmet on, just going, like, worst day at the office ever for that person.
Yeah, imagine that. I don't know how long it takes to prepare for such a race, but I can't imagine it's an overnight thing. And so when your car explodes right at the beginning of the race, it's not a good feeling.
Yeah. Well, at least their mechanics are literally like tightening bolts and belts, and for some reason giving the tires a massage on the way to the start line. Like, you can't just drive up to the start line. The thing has to get towed to the start line. It's very strange. It's a very strange situation. And then once they do their quarter mile, then it gets, I guess it's out of fuel, and an ATV with a little guider bar ends up pushing it past the further line, where again the crew meets up, and then they start unloosening bolts, and they get the driver out, and they make sure no one's on fire, and make sure the engine's out, and blah 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 blah. So it was a good weekend for old Kush-Verine here.
Good weekend for everyone except for that guy who was bolted
Yeah.
into a rocket that exploded.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, guess what, right? I saw the most bizarre thing ever, right? So I was, maybe I might be overhyping this. It might not be the most bizarre thing. But I was at the beach, as I am most times in the summer when it's nice out. And I was sitting there at the beach, minding my own business. And then at the corner of my eye, next to me, is a woman who is heavily pregnant.
Oh.
Heavily pregnant. Like,
Okay.
it looked like she was about to, like, burst, and an alien was about to come out of her stomach and do the can, like from Spaceballs.
Yes.
And like a man was taking photos of her, and it became very clear that it was obviously her boyfriend, fiance, husband, whoever it was. It was the father of the child inside the belly.
Oops.
And she was like taking pictures. Like it was like, oh, this is how adorable, how cute.
Mhm.
You know, taking the pre-birth photos. Oh,
Mhm.
what a sweet little thing to do. Long story short, they were there for as long as I was there at the beach. They were there for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
There was costume changes and everything.
Oh my God.
And I was thinking, right, she's doing the same pose for every photo,
Mhm.
and they haven't moved, so the background hasn't changed.
Mhm.
She's going to have about 1,000 photos, and the only difference is like, oh, now I've got a slightly different color shirt on. I was
Mhm.
like, you've wasted your afternoon, surely. You're never going to get that time back. Like
No.
what they achieved could have been done in like 20 minutes, and then they could have gone see Deadpool and Wolverine or read a book or watched House of Dragon. That's finishing soon. I still don't understand what that show's about, but I enjoy it. But yeah, it was just very bizarre. Like, why do other humans do weird things, Kush? I don't
No,
understand.
so this might upset a couple of our female listeners and especially our pregnant female listeners, but you will also probably discover this for yourself in a few years, Mike. When your wife is pregnant, it's all about her,
Oh,
whether it
yes.
makes sense or not.
Oh, I'm sure he was just probably like, fucking hell, wrap it up. Come
He's
on,
probably into it too. Like again, like taking 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 fun photos of your pregnant wife. That's fun for you. I would be kind of just like, ugh. I gotta find another spot on the beach now. I'm getting away from this.
I don't know. I'm one of those people. Like, if we're out and there wants to be a photo taken, once we've taken like 2 photos, I'm like, okay, can I get back to drinking now? Like
Mhm.
after 3 photos now, I'm like, this is why this is obnoxious now. Can we knock it off?
Mhm.
But maybe I'm just a bad man. But there you go. But yeah, exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. Shall we just kick it into gear, my friend?
Let's
Shall we
just
just
kick
get
it.
straight into the top stories?
Yeah.
Because it's been a
See.
crazy and wacky week out there. And this week, we're not talking about politics. We're not talking about people saying things. We're not going to mention Rob Schneider thinking the Olympics is one big Satan worshipping festival. If
Did
you
he
don't know
say that?
about that, oh, yeah, he did. Because the opening ceremony featured drag artists depicting like the Last Supper.
I've heard about that. I've heard people are
So,
upset about that. I'm just like, you
like,
guys are silly.
I'm not going to go to, but I always like to play devil's advocate. If you found that mildly offensive towards your religion, I get it. I don't agree, but I get how you can make that connection. But going from that to Satan worshiping, Jesus, it's a hell of a leap, Rob. Chill,
Hmm.
chill your tits. Anyway, let's talk about some more lighter affair in this week's top stories.
It's now time for this week's top stories.
Bubbles. This week's first top story takes us to Ohio. Oh, and the Ohio Supreme Court as well. That's fun.
Sounds intense.
It does, right? So there was a young man. Actually, I don't know how old he was, but I'll just give him the credit. I'd say he's young. Michael Berkheimer went to Wings on Brookwood
Hmm.
to have an enjoyable chicken meal, and he is now suing the restaurant after a bone from his order of boneless wings went down his throat.
Oh shit.
And the next day, after he had dined at Wings on Brookwood, he fell ill and had to go to the emergency room, where a doctor found that a bone tore through his esophagus
Oh,
and caused an infection.
no kidding.
So, in his lawsuit against Wings on Brookwood, Berkheimer said that the establishment neglected to mention that the wings could contain bones, which I think, to me and you, like, this is like some people were comparing, when I was like looking up, doing a bit of research, some people were comparing this to the McDonald's hot coffee thing, but I disagree. It's a boneless wing. You're assuming there's no boneless. It's
Mhm.
called, it's boneless.
Mhm.
However, the Ohio Supreme Court disagree, Kush.
Hmm.
In a 4-3 ruling, they said that when a restaurant says they have boneless wings, and for those listening, I'm doing the air quotes, boneless wings,
Hmm.
they are referring to the cooking style of the wing
No.
and not the fact that the wings are boneless. That's horseshit.
Yeah.
They're
They need to appeal
boneless
that.
wings. It's like
So I'm guessing
seedless
the guy
grapes
didn't
don't have
win.
seeds. I still don't understand the witchcraft behind that, but that's the whole another story. But it's bonus, right? And so this is going to infuriate you, Kush. You're going to be so glad you're sitting down right now when I read you this ruling. It's the Ohio Supreme Court said a diner reading boneless wings on a menu would no more believe that the restaurant was warranting the absence of bones. I'm getting angry, but I haven't read it yet. Just as a person eating chicken fingers would know they are not being served fingers. What?
That's just obnoxious and ignorant. So I've had boneless wings where occasionally I'll find a shaved part of a bone. But guess what? I'm chewing the thing and I feel something crunch on my tooth. Thankfully, my tooth doesn't break, but then I go, oh, there's a bone sliver in there. Okay. And then I'm very careful with the next few pieces, and it almost always never is a thing again. How fast is this guy eating it? Like, I want to know how big the bone is. Is it quite possible like an actual bone wing, like an actual buffalo wing fell into the order and he just blindly just deep throated it? Like what happened here in this situation? But also, did he not win because they definitely need to pay his medical bills?
Well, apparently, so the case was thrown out. It was dismissed.
Oh, wow.
And then he
That
took it further to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court told him to fuck off.
That's
so
awful.
He's fucked. Which I think is like, no. I'm sorry, Ohio. You are now like Florida gets a bad rep for being stupid, but no, you've taken the cake, Ohio. You cannot. No, a boneless wing is boneless. I'm sorry. It's insane. So Ohio, I apologize if you live in Ohio, but you live in a. I was about to say a bad word then. No, we don't say that word. But it's a stupid state. It's a stupid state. Backwards thinking. God damn it. But yeah, if I had a gavel right now, I would do it on here. Do you know how much gavels cost? Are they cheap?
About 25, $50, depending on the gavel.
I want to get myself a gavel so I can like, Ohio, you're dumb, and that's final. Boom. And I'll probably knock some things off and I'll regret it, but there you go.
I would, if you do, make sure you bang it on not your broadcast table there, because that's where your microphone is.
And just everyone at home be like lifting the headphones.
Like have a little stool off to the side and then just smack that.
I could get one of those toy ones, so when I bang it, it goes. There we go. Boom. Coming soon to Waffle Box near you. So there you go. Ohio's dumb. Anyway, the Olympics. Have you been swept up by Olympic fever, Christopher?
Never am. It's one of the most annoying 2 weeks every 2 to 4 years for me.
I think you'll find it's 16 days, actually. Kush.
Fine. Oh, okay.
I watched the opening ceremony. It was very dumb. Like it was because normally in the opening ceremony they have like this all singing or dancing thing for like an hour where you're thinking like what the fuck is going on? You're very, very confused. There's people dancing around and interpreted like there's people like waving wands with twirly bits on them, and then the commentators being around, oh, and yes, clearly this is depicting the 1764 war with Spain and how that united the nation. And you're like, what is it really? Looks like a twirly stick to me. But anyway. And then they had the athletes walk out all in the line, But this time they did it differently. They did it on a river, the river Seine, where they had the athletes popping out on the boats, and waving to the people standing by the river. And then after a couple of nations, they would have like Lady Gaga sing a tune, and then they'd have a couple of more countries come out on their boats, and then someone else would do something, and it was very weird. But anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, and then in the end, before they lit the cauldron, they had the Olympic head honcho guy, and he was doing his very inspiring speech, and he was like, "Yeah, your victories are our victories, your defeats are our defeats." Like, really? I don't think they are, pal. They've trained for 4 years. You've done nothing. Anyway, one man wanted to be there so bad, he made a really in my opinion, stupid decision, but I'm not an athlete. Australian Matt Dawson, who plays for the Australian hockey team, now not ice hockey, this is like regular hockey, field hockey. He barely broke a digit on his right hand after he was hit by a hockey stick during a training session in Perth 2 weeks ago. The impact left the top of his finger nearly entirely severed, and his Olympic dreams were hanging in the balance, apparently.
Damn.
Doctors said his injury would take 4 to 6 months to recover, meaning he would have to miss the Summer Olympics, or the athlete could have his finger amputated and make it to the competition.
I mean, this is if you're gonna sacrifice vital parts of your body, this is the event for it, man. Like, it only happens every 4 years. So this is actually a great example of, I forget if it was 2 years ago or 4 years ago, but some American just went like, there's too much pressure here. I'm stepping away. I'm not going to participate in the Olympics that I've just been training for the last 4 years, went through all the regional and national competitions, beat out other people for, and now I'm just going to say, fuck it, I'm stressed. That, again, not a big fan of the Olympics, but it's like, you fucking bitch. How could you do that?
I think I know who you're talking about. I think
I don't remember the person's
back.
name.
I think she's back. She's competing this year. I'm pretty sure.
Is she competing this year, or is
I
she
think
just
so.
hanging out in Paris?
I'm not going to mention her name, just in case you're thinking of someone else, and I don't want to disparage someone's name.
I don't even
but
remember her name.
Yeah, I think she's back. Anyway,
I think they were a gymnast. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think is it Simone Biles? Is that who you're thinking of?
I do not know. I'm sorry I have to keep repeating that. I do not know.
Are you being coy?
No, I'm being very forgetful.
What are you trying to say, Kush? What are you trying to say? Just be open and transparent. Anyway, so yeah, Matt Dawson obviously chose the latter, and a surgeon took about an inch off the end of his ring finger on his right hand, just below the top knuckle. So, like, if you're watching the video version,
he's still got 2/3 of a finger. It's just this part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't have to cut his. It'd be quicker to cut his nails.
Silver lining.
Silver lining.
Only 9 nails to cut now.
Boom. He said, so this is the crazy part, though, for me. So he had to call his wife and go, hey, babe, so these are my 2 options. And she said, maybe you shouldn't make such a rash decision. And he was like, sorry, you're breaking up, babe. Cut it off, Doc. Cut it off.
Again, this is the event, man. This is the event that people make sacrifices for. That's what it is. You know, and it's a great story too. Like, wow, fucking Jerry over there cut his goddamn finger off so he could go to the Olympics. Crazy Jerry.
So currently, I'm just having a look. Oh, currently the field hockey men's is still in the pool section, so it's kind of the group stage. And so far, it's looked like Australia have played 2 games and won both. So maybe he did make the right decision. What was his name? Matt Dawson? I'm not even... Oh, Matthew Dawson. There he is. He is still there. Okay. I was like, wouldn't it be hilarious if he didn't even get picked? If they was like, nah, you know what? Actually, we're going to pick someone else better than you. The old 10-finger fellas over there.
I know a dude specifically missing 2 fingers. I forget on which hand it is. But he's a pro wrestler. And by the way, the ladies love him. Like, he has not let this little wood shop incident from high school hold him back. Like, this guy is just like slaying boom left and right. It's like, back up off me, bitches. Me and my 8 fingers are tired. Go away.
Well, maybe if he's, going down to Funtown, his hands are a little more aerodynamic now.
Possibly.
Anyway. Why do we always end up talking about masturbation? Anyway.
Oh,
congratulations.
You were talking about masturbation. I wasn't.
What was you talking about then?
He's good with the ladies.
Well,
he's not even a full man anymore, man. And he's he gets more poon than like David Hasselhoff these days.
Well, what else do men do with their hands with women other than, massage, I guess. Yeah, massage. Yeah, they give shoulder rubs
I don't know
and
what
nothing
you
else.
freaky Brits are doing over there, but move on to the next story.
So, congratulations, Matt Dawson. I guess good luck in the hockey this year. Finally, a Connecticut man is drawing comparisons to Brad Pitt's character in Fight Club.
Oh dear, that can't be good.
What is he up to? So he recently, after having 400 cc's of fat removed during a liposuction procedure, saw that they were going to throw away his body fat as medical waste. And he was like, whoop, da, 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 da. I saw a movie. There's something I can do with that. And he asked if he could keep it. And they let him, which...
Wow, for real.
I don't know why. Like, if I was working at a hospital and someone asked me to keep 400 cc, I don't even know what cc is, but I'm assuming it sounds a lot, 400 cc's.
It's a unit of measurement. Yeah.
If they asked me, hey, can I take home my excess fat? I would probably have some follow-up questions. Like,
I got weird looks when I asked if I could keep the wisdom teeth they extracted out of me. And they're just like, no. Also, it's been shattered because of our pliers, but no, you cannot keep this biohazard.
Why not? Well, I can understand. I guess I could understand like some people, again, devil's advocate, looking weird. Like, why do you want to keep this shattered tooth that we just extracted from you? But what's the harm in keeping it? It's almost like a trophy. But fat, what are you gonna do with fat?
That's where I was going with it too. Yeah. Anyway, that is amazing that they actually let him leave with that period. I was gonna say with that much, with any of it. That's and then also, yeah, this man needs to have a thorough FBI investigation now. Like, no,
So,
mias gusto.
The influencer, quote, apparently he's an influencer.
Oh dear.
Which I just think that if you have like a video that goes trending on TikTok or Instagram, you can then call yourself an influencer. Because I don't know how many people he's influencing by making TikTok videos about turning his own body fat into soap. Yeah, just in case you haven't seen Fight Club, that's where we were going with this story. So he said, quote, they were going to throw it away as medical waste, but I asked if I could keep it because I've always wanted to make soap and didn't want to waste perfectly good fat. It's not perfectly good fat, because if it was perfectly good fat, you would have kept it inside you, dick.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's a great point. That's a great point, Prosecutor Mike. There's an old Tales from the Crypt episode. Yes, that one right there. Where a wife is plotting to murder her wealthy soap manufacturing husband. And then there's a whole thing where, like, if the chemicals in the soap aren't processed correctly, you're basically holding a brick of acid. Like, it's hard form. It's just a brick, but a little water and skin contact, your skin will peel off. At least per Tales from the Crypt, which was, very, very fictitious. However, I would not trust this guy to make soap out of anything. Even the little slivers of soap that you end up keeping in the shower. I would not trust him to put together a full bar out of 6 slivers of soap. So yeah, this man's dangerous, or at least not all there.
See, if we had already prepared this show earlier, we could have had a really good bit there. Because when you said about the chemical you use, if used improperly, could take the skin off the human body, and then I would say, lie, and you would go, no, I'm being honest, and we could have had a bit. We could have had a bit anyway.
That would have been fun. That would have been fun.
Would have been fun. Maybe next time. Yeah, in his tutorial, the DIY soap maker can be seen pouring the 400 cc's of his own body fat into a pot with lye and cutting it with vanilla, essential oils, and rose petals for scent. He then transfers it into rectangular molds and cuts it into usable bars. And then later on, he says that he used it and he's never smelt so good, which If I had to guess, it's probably to do with the vanilla essential oils and the rose petals you used, not the fact it was your own body fat. It's weird. I don't know, that should be some kind of law against that. Like you can't, if you turn your own body fat into soap, you can't
I'm
use
pretty
it
sure you
yourself.
need
That's
some sort
something.
of permit for that. Yeah. Again, handling chemicals and well, now hazardous waste. You.
You indeed. But there you go. That guy was from Connecticut, by the way, for those keeping score at home. Very weird because that's like no one cares about Connecticut. It's like apparently it's technically part of the tri-state area, but like
Oh,
it's
is
like
it?
oh yeah, so it's like oh hey New York, New Jersey, and then everyone thinks Pennsylvania is part of the tri-state
Yeah,
area.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's how boring Connecticut is. No one just everyone forgets it. Yeah, it's New York,
I
New
mean, I
Jersey,
didn't
and
forget it. I
Connecticut.
just didn't know that was that was the third part of the trifecta of the
Mm,
Trinity, if you
the Holy Trinity. There's always got to be one boring one. Go on, Kush.
will.
Tell me one exciting thing about Connecticut off the top of your head.
Vince McMahon is wandering the streets now.
With
Just
his with his
hopefully his
cane.
cock is in his pants. Probably not.
I'm a very rich man.
He's just
Can I
firing
shit
people
on your
left and
head,
right.
please?
You're fired.
Allegedly.
You're fired.
Allegedly.
Kiss my ass.
Kiss my anyway. But there you go. Congratulations, I guess, to those people out there. So we got Australian Matt Dawson achieving things to his Olympic dream, and this Connecticut guy making soap of himself. But there are other people out there, Kush, that are achieving things, and they're achieving things so well that an Irish brewery are saying, "Well done. Here's a piece of paper with your name on. Look at that. Give that to your mum. She'll put it in the fridge." It's that time for this week's Dumb World Record of the week.
Why?
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why would you want to do that?
Right. Normally this segment it wraps up pretty damn quickly, but I got a feeling that
Yeah.
this is going to take me about 5 minutes just to pronounce this guy's name.
Oh, I'll pour myself a drink.
Because yeah, the person that broke this Guinness World Record this week comes to us from Nigeria, and I don't want to seem very insensitive, but I'm going to give it a try. So
you do, boy.
Babajid Israel Adebanjo.
Okay.
That sounds bad. That sounds legit, right?
Yeah, that's all one name, or
It's 3 separate names. So Babajide
Babajide, Israel.
Israel. I know that because it's a country. I can pronounce that bit right. And then Adebanjo.
Adabanjo.
Adebanjo. Yeah.
Okay.
got banjo in
seeing
his
it in
name.
front
That's
of me,
pretty
like I can only
Yeah, I
I can
guess.
only
Yeah.
go on what you just said.
It could be spelled Tim, and you could be going, yeah, you did a good job there, Mike. You did a good job.
Good job, mate. Well, you spell it as Tim, but we pronounce it Adabajo.
The TIM are silent. But yeah, that fella of Nigeria broke the Guinness World Record for the longest duration twerking.
Working.
Twerking. Yep. Shaking what his mother gave him.
All right. I'm not bad at that. I mean, I'd rather you be a lady doing that, but all right. How long did he twerk?
Well, he took on the challenge apparently to raise awareness about depression and the importance of mental health. Now, I've mentioned before on this show that I am a long sufferer of depression, and my mental health can be weak sometimes. So I know what I'm talking about.
Similar, same.
As much as I appreciate people trying to raise awareness, trying to take the taboos out of the conversation, we should be able to openly talk about our mental health as men, as women, as humans.
I've been in therapy since August of 2020. I've been in
fantastic.
therapy in and out of my life, but consistently since August 2020, October 2020.
And I have happy pills. It works, right?
Oh, do you?
I do.
What kind of happy pills you get?
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll discuss it later. But
Okay,
anyway,
okay, all right.
it's all cool. So I appreciate people doing this kind of hard work. However, I'm struggling to make the connection of when someone is twerking, other people are going, you know what, we don't talk openly about mental health enough. You know what I mean? I like he's really connecting with me, this twerking fella. I don't get it. What's he doing? Like, I just feel like he wanted to twerk, and then someone made fun of him for twerking for this long, and then he had to come up with a reason. No, they're making fun of me. But if I say I'm raising awareness for mental health, then suddenly it become awkward, and they will leave me alone. That's what my theory is. Anyway, he twerked, or as this article said, he shook his backside, which is not very accurate. If you haven't seen anyone twerking, it's not just shaking of the backside. It's a very rhythmic and precise way of shaking one's backside. No, I'm not gonna give an example. There you go. Kush is giving you an example, even though you can't see his backside. That's the kind of face people make when they twerk. They can't help it.
You gotta look back at it. You gotta make sure it's all there.
No matter who it is, once they start twerking, they make that weird face. It's kind of like it's like they feel like they're trying to take a shit, but it's like is something hanging on? Is something hanging on? They're kind of like that inquisitive look on their face. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Kush, if you're watching the YouTube version, boom. Kush has nailed it. So Babajide, he twerked for 3 hours and 30 minutes non-stop.
Damn. Honestly, that's a long time.
It is a very long time, and I bet his glutes were very sore.
The back thighs, the hips, and the lower back all probably had to be on fire the next day. I don't care how conditioned he was. Like, that's like 3.5 hours. That's a long time.
Like, who do you reckon had more of a sore backside? This guy who twerked for 3.5 hours, or Eamon Keaveney from Ireland, who last week rode a unicycle for 308 miles?
I think this guy, honestly. I think Kevin's thighs were probably on fire, and I bet his knees were swollen. But yeah, no, I think Mr. Ababanjo. I bet he had the.
It's a great name.
I think he had the bigger casualty this week.
What did Mr. Adebanjo have to say about his record-breaking twerking session? He said,
I'm crazy for shaking my ass.
Shake, 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 do 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 do, shake, 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 do 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 do, shake your booty. I love that song. Quote, we're incredibly proud to have set a new standard in twerking because apparently the standard of twerking was far too low and he had to bring dignity back to the fine name of twerking.
I want to know what Megan Thee Stallion's thoughts on this are. That's the lady in She-Hulk where they were twerking together.
And she's a mighty fine twerker, if I may say so myself.
Indeedy.
Well, Miss Stallion, if you are watching or listening, feel free to get in touch. Enjoy wafflebox@gmail.com. And we'll have you on and we'll discuss this further. That'd be nice. So there you go. Congratulations, I guess, to Badajide Israel Adebanjo of Nigeria for breaking a Guinness World Record for longest duration of twerking. And if you want to go do some research, you can find a video of him and you watch this and go, you know what? Maybe I do need to speak to someone. Maybe I do need to reach out. because I'm not making a lot of it because I get it. But watching a man twerk for 3.5 hours isn't going to be the thing that helps me, but whatever. I'm just saying. Feel free to speak out. Talk to a friend. Talk to a therapist. Or twerk, I guess. Twerk might make you feel better. There you go.
Twerking might burn off the energy for sure.
But they do say going to the gym helps.
Yeah.
So, maybe twerking could be the new thing. But, next time I go to the doctors to get my pill prescription upped, if he says, actually, Mr. Fish, we're trying something radical this time. We are not going to give you your prescription. We're going to order you to go to dance class and meet Megan Thee Stallion. And I'll be like, swings around.
That might cheer you up.
Yeah, there we go. Actually, Mr. Doctor, I was about to say his name. I'm not going to say it.
And then the wife can't get mad because this is doctor's orders.
It's a prescription.
It's Megan Thee Stallion is the prescription for your ailment. Sorry, Mrs. Fish. Don't be mad at me. This is doctor's orders. I can't do nothing about that.
Anyway. Let's move on. Still to come on this week's Waffle Box. We'll be back after a short break with Birthday Blackjack. We're going to be talking Deadpool and Wolverine and much, much more. So stick around if you would. We'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsors.
Hey, kiddos, are you looking to have a good time tonight? Well, how about you help yourself to a nice cocktail of 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen, or as they call it on the streets, water. Don't be a dickhead and drink and drive. Drink water. Proud sponsor of the Waffle Box podcast.
Place your bets. It's now time for Birthday Blackjack.
I also like to live dangerously.
Yes. Welcome, one and all, to the July 31st. Oh, where is the year gone? July 31st edition of Birthday Blackjack. If it's your first time joining us for Birthday Blackjack, let me explain the rules. So I'm going to give 5 celebrities that are celebrating their birthday on this very day, and you just simply have to guess how old they are now. And your score is made up of your margin of error. So, for example, if you guess 38 and they're 35, your margin of error is 3, so you score 3 points. And the name of the game is try to stay below 21, ergo the Blackjack themology. Nice and simple. Oh, and also I always forget to mention this one. If you are lucky enough to get the age spot on,
perfect,
then you get to subtract 5 from your score. Right, you'll be playing against this man, Mr. Christopher Hayes, who, if I remember correctly, which I don't, I'm going back to my notes. I think you, oh yeah, you lost last week. So you're 9 and 13 right now. 9 and 13.
9 and 13. Okay.
So, going for your win number 10.
All right, let's do this.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
As always, if you are playing along at home and you're watching the YouTube version, let us know in the comments what you score, or if you're listening to the audio version, hit us up at Waffle Box on Twitter with your scores.
Number 1.
Celebrity number 1 is actor. I believe he also dabbles in a little bit of writing and stuff like that. But he played Ryan from The Office, USA. Oh. Yeah, Mr. BJ Novak. How old is BJ Novak?
Dude, he was a baby on The Office, and that ended, what, 10 years ago now? So, geez, I think he's like 39. Maybe I feel like I may have even gone over on that one, but I'm gonna say 39.
Kush's official guess is 39. He is now 45 years old.
Okay. Oh.
Not the worst start. Not the worst start.
No.
So that's 6. Your score is 6 as of right now. Now, keep a straight face, Kush, because you'll understand why.
Number 2.
Actor Mr. Wesley Snipes. It's his birthday today. Wesley Snipes. How old is Wesley Snipes?
Wesley Snipes, the only Blade that there is. Man, Nino Brown is up there these days. I'm gonna say he's like 68.
I'm gonna get it then. You said 68. Wesley Snipes is 62 years old.
My bad.
That's another 6 out, so that puts you up to 12.
Okay. We're still in it.
May I say good luck with this next one?
Number 3.
Hip hop artist, Mr. Lil Uzi Vert.
I know of Lil Uzi
I know
Vert.
of him, but
I'm positive I've heard his song on a song of his on the radio. Yeah, I don't know what a little Uzi Vert is. I know what an Uzi is. I don't know what a Vert is. Anyways, he's apparently little. We're sticking with the 8s. 28.
28.
Yeah, he's not an old man.
He's not an old man. Mr. Lil Uzi Vert celebrates his 29th birthday today. Ooh, so close, so close.
That's good. That's good. That's all right.
That is
So we're only at
good.
13.
One out. You're up to lucky 13. Nice little bit of wiggle room heading into the backstretch.
Number 4.
Another actor. Did you ever watch Modern Family?
Yeah, I got into it very late, but I was a big fan of it when I did start watching it.
Marvelous. So this fella played Manny in Modern Family.
Oh, okay, yeah, the son.
Mr.
Of,
Rico Rodriguez. How old is
Sofia
Rico
Vergara's son.
Rodriguez?
25. Because that show ended a while ago now too.
Wasn't it? I know because it went on for a while. If you watch,
It went on for a decade. Yeah.
and if you like go back, sometimes they'll like air old episodes, and then they'll like after it play a really later episode, and it's freaky how much the kids age. Like who'da thunk? Humans age. Rico Rodriguez, you guessed 25. He is in fact 26.
Hey, look at me.
One out again. So that means leading into the final celebrity, you have a score of 14, which means you have a wiggle room number of 7. That's a decent wiggle room. That's some decent wiggle room. That's some twerking wiggle there, right there. That's Megan Thee Stallion. That's some. Anyway.
Number 5.
Number 5 is star of the TV show Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman, Mr. Dean Cain.
Oh, Dean Cain. Yeah.
For those who don't know, he played Superman in that show. You should go back. It's not that bad. It's a pretty good show. It's a good show.
It was okay.
I
It was
enjoyed
okay
I
for the
enjoyed it.
time. It was
Yeah.
okay for the time. And you know, it was of its era. And then Dean Cain, unfortunately, is he's kind of the more handsomer Rob Schneider these days. I'm not saying he's got like some wild ideas, but he's definitely got some unpopular opinions. And him and Kevin Sorbo and Gina Carano all work on movie sets now together. It's actually kind of
They
interesting.
all sit around, talk about how other people have cancelled them even though they've still got work.
Yeah. So anyway, Dean Cain.
Dean Cain.
Again, Lois and Clark ended like in the late 90s, and he was already 30-ish then. So I'm gonna guess he's like 54.
54. To be fair, I'm going to say that's a very good guess because realistically, so you have the wiggle room of 7. Yeah, you imagine he's not going to be in his late 40s at this point, and he's definitely not going to be in his early 60s. So you
Really
like to
handsome
think
dude too.
he's not bad looking. He's not a bad looking fella, even if he is 58 years old, which means you are 4 out, which gives you a final score this week, Kush, of 18, which means you are a winner.
I feel like a winner.
You win. So that takes up your record to 10 and 13. You're in double
that's
digits for
$10.
victories, and you're in
Outstanding.
touching distance of getting back to 500 record.
Sweet. Oh shit, sweet.
I say back to 500 record. I don't think you've ever had a 500 record. I
Not
think
yet.
You've
Not
been
yet.
working from behind the whole entire time. But hey,
That's what she said.
all right. So there you go. That wraps up another edition of Birthday Blackjack. If you are watching the YouTube version,
I
don't
love this game.
forget to hit the like, hit subscribe, and all that good shit. Get that algorithm working in our favor and expose more morons to our dumbass content. We sure as shit appreciate it. Now, let's move on to talk about a movie. It's that time for Kush to review a movie in a segment that we like to call Kush's Movie a Review.
Kush's Movie Review.
Yes, welcome to Kush's movie review of Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, we are going to do it slightly differently, so I'm going to give you guys a heads up, a quick disclaimer. So for those watching the standalone YouTube version, you're fine because you've seen the disclaimer in the title. And so if you're still watching this and you had no idea what we're going to talk about, then that's on you, my friend, I'm afraid. The thumbnail helped you out, the description helped you out. I don't know what else to do. But for those watching the full version of the podcast or the audio version of the podcast, so Kush is going to do a short non-spoiler review of the movie. And then we will give you the warning when we are going to discuss the spoilers of the movie. Now, so again, for those watching the YouTube version of the full podcast or the audio version, in the description, there will be a timestamp, which I'm going to tell you when it's, if you haven't watched the movie and you want to watch the movie and you don't want it spoiled, when Kush says, okay, we're going to talk about spoilers now, you can fast forward to the safe zone that I'm going to put in the description. I think that's fair.
I think that's fair too.
Marvelous. Right. There you go. Deadpool and Wolverine. Kush, what's your quick thoughts? Spoiler free.
So, like you mentioned at the top of the show, Mike, we're in a rare situation. It has happened before where you and I have both watched the movie and then we'll discuss it in my review. However, what is rarer than that is you actually got to watch this before I did. I just did this thing opening preview Thursday night, and I just, because of the schedule this week, I just couldn't do it. So I saw a Monday morning screening matinee of Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine. Hard R. It's a very hard R. There's lots of F-bombs, which who cares? But there's a lot of blood, and there's not a spoiler, but Deadpool uses a cadaver at some point as a weapon, and the various parts of that cadaver, and just murders people in the most violent and perverse ways ever. 2 hours, 8 minutes. Maybe we shave off 15 of those. Okay. However, it's perfectly fine runtime compared to other movies, superhero related or not, where they're like 2.5 hours. Oh, 2 hours, 45 minutes. No, could be a little shorter, but 2 hours, 8 minutes. Not bad. Not terrible. This is directed by Sean Levy. He's lately been a big fan of the Ryan Reynolds. He did The Adam Project, which I did not see on Netflix. He did Free Guy, which I personally hated, but that was a crowd favorite, regardless of what I thought of it. Like, people love Free Guy. That's it. For you to say that, that's actually kind of shocking, because I know how big of a fan you are of the Ryan Reynolds. This is also written by Sean Levy, had a hand writing in this. Ryan Reynolds finally gets a credit writing on this movie. He had a hand in the last two, but for whatever reason, they were just like, we're not adding you to that. We're not giving you that title. Anyways, everyone else, sorry guys, there's 5 writers on this, including the 2 we just mentioned. So Rhett, Paul, and Zeb also had a hand in this.
I love Zeb.
Anyway, this stars the aforementioned Ryan Reynolds, Mr. Hugh Jackman coming out of retirement to play the Wolverine one more time, although it's a different Wolverine, but still. And then this is my first time experiencing her, but from Netflix's The Crown, Emma Corrin. She plays a character called Cassandra Nova. Quite frankly, I found her terrifying. Like, I thought she did a really good, she played a very great villain. It's a shame, since it's multiverse, we can always see her come back. But it's a shame this was one and done for her, because like I was just like, this woman, I was like, she is so intimidating. The least she says, the more intimidating she is. And by the way, she gets that mind molestation thing going on where her fingers are in your skull, and it was just like, I hate all of this. So, anyways,
Yeah, for those
we've been
she is, if you don't know the lore, she is Charles Xavier's twin sister or something like
depending
that.
on what universe we're in, she's definitely a sister. I don't know if they were twins.
So
but,
she can do the mind fucking thing like Charles Xavier can.
and very grotesquely too. It's just like, oh, I'm uncomfortable here. Please stop doing that. So we've been kind of covering this since it was announced here on the Waffle Box, and my attitude going into it is just like, I'm not a fan of the Deadpool character. I understood why people enjoyed the first one. I actually found part two very enjoyable. In fact, that opening scene where Deadpool is confronting Vanessa's murderer, I was like, that is a beautiful fucking scene. Like, it was just well shot, well choreographed, drama. Like, Kush Hayes shed a little tear before we even got into Celine Dion's opening song. I was like, holy shit, that's a great opening. But I was not excited about this, and this was just when we knew it was just Deadpool 3. And then we started hearing things about Hugh Jackman was coming in, and I was just like, Mike, this is he's just gonna be there for like 5 minutes and tell him to fuck off, and like this is gonna be a whole lot of stuff. But then they went like, no, this is Deadpool and Wolverine, and I was like, all right, we might have something there, but I still I don't have my hopes up going into this. Long story short, was not looking forward to this. Ended up actually enjoying it. Again, it's every Ryan Reynolds movie for the past decade. He's Ryan Reynolds. He's Deadpool. There's lots of quips. They're funny. Most of them hit. Ryan Reynolds, for some reason, likes to shoehorn in 90s pop music and whatever girly 70s disco tracks. I'm used to it by now. It's never annoyed me, but even some people on the phone were like, that I was texting with, who thankfully didn't give me any spoilers, are like, I really liked it, but I hated the soundtrack. And I was like, really? Have you not seen a Ryan Reynolds movie?
I thought compared, if you've already watched Deadpool 1 and listened to the soundtrack and listened to the soundtrack of Deadpool 2, I thought this soundtrack was on point.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with the soundtrack. But I was also like, this is everything I expected in a Deadpool 3 movie, Yeah. Having said that, really enjoyed the movie. Surprised me how good it was. Hugh Jackman bringing that goddamn drama, dude. It was like, I didn't get misty eye, but I was just like, damn, I feel bad for this Wolverine. Like, this Wolverine's been through some shit, and he caused it on himself, but also he was just like I think both of us with our twerk talk earlier, I think both of us have been there. We're just like, yeah. And then Deadpool's whole thing about like needing to find purpose. Dude, other than losing a loved one, losing sense of purpose is like maybe the worst thing a man can go through. So like, again, I was just like, oh, these characters actually have like some depth right now. Like, Ryan Reynolds, you sneaky bastard, you're pretty good about that, because you do all the quips and the homoerotic puns and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and then you're just like, oh, I'm grieving the loss of my wife. Oh, oh,
yeah,
I need to save these 9 people I love. Like,
he just keeps doing all these silly, stupid jokes, and they get sillier and sillier and more childish, and then suddenly off a cliff of, oh, he's doing some serious stuff now. So it catches you off guard so much, so it makes it even more jarring, and so you are more.
Yeah, and no one ever talks about that. So we just talked about it. Yeah, I can't front. I had a great time. I enjoyed it. I even saw it sober on a Monday morning, which is even unusual for Kush Hayes. But I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. It's not the best movie I've seen this year. I don't even know if it's the funniest movie I've seen this year, but it's very, very enjoyable. I don't think I'll go back to the theater to see it. However, when it comes up on the Disney Plus, I'll push play. Yeah. So again, 4 out of 5. That's our non-spoiler review for if you're doing your taxes or folding laundry in the background. I'm stalling here to let you know we're now gonna go into spoilers so that Mike and I can talk about this, because there's stuff to talk about, and we're doing this in 5, 4.
I'll give it a little bit longer. So we're gonna. So yeah. So dude, you're doing something. Get ready to pause this or fast forward to the timestamp below because get ready, my friends. We are about to spoil the shit out of Deadpool and Wolverine. 5 more seconds. You have been warned.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we're getting this.
You have to respect the countdown music, Kush. All right, let's get into it.
I do.
Right, how do you want to do it? Because I'm assuming we're not going to go this scene by scene, but let's talk
not.
about what was
So
your
what do you-
thoughts, right?
Mhm.
We'll hit the big stuff. Because a lot of people before, and they even mentioned it in their funny teaser videos of stuff like how we're not gonna touch the Logan stuff. It's gonna be a different universe. It's gonna be a different thing. And then they went right into Logan.
Mhm.
Did you love that? Did you hate it?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was very funny. I thought it was very amusing. Again, like some of the most painful deaths I've ever seen on in a film, but it is funny. I really enjoyed the part where he well, one, he's using Wolverine's femur and thigh as nunchucks. That was quite amusing to me. I liked him using Wolverine's spine and skull as a mace. And I thought it was actually really cool when he put on the claws and started doing the Wolverine pose. And I was like, I wonder if they're going to keep that on. Spoiler in the spoiler review, they do not. Like they immediately dismiss it. I was like, oh, like that would have been a cool gimmick to have the entire movie. But no, I enjoyed it.
I think the time comedic timing of it though, when he was digging up the corpse of Logan.
Mhm.
And doing the whole, well, if everyone thought he was dead, but that's not how regeneration works, ha 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 ha. And then he's like, fuck.
Mhm.
And then in the crowd, so the movie theater I watched, it was packed, it was full.
Mhm.
One of the biggest reactions of the whole movie was that bit where he was like, well, I'm no doctor, but, and it zooms out, you are dead.
Yeah, it's he's just hanging out there with the corpse. He's even got him all propped up and got Wolverine's skull skeleton cross-legged. Like it's funny comedy. It's good comedy. Ryan Reynolds is a funny guy, and again, he's also a very good dramatic actor. So I'm glad that they sprinkled enough of that in because it's in there. It is in
And
there. Like
I watched a video of where it was like, breaking down the Easter eggs and stuff like that. They did it side by side where they put the skeleton in the same position as when he got impaled, and he's sitting there, and Deadpool is sitting there where the little girl was sitting when she's like, "Don't die."
oh, gotcha. Okay.
Pretty damn clever. Pretty damn clever.
Yeah. Well, they're really good at creating a one-for-one scene from, if not a previous movie, a previous comic book. Like we get into a montage where Deadpool's been abducted by the TVA, the Time Variant Authority. And then I still don't understand why they pulled him out of Universe 10 million and like we want you to be in proper 616, which is the Marvel Comics universe that everybody knows. I still don't understand why they did that. However, I guess they had to do it so that Wolverine could headbutt the guy, steal his little time travel device, and try and find Wolverine. And going through the various Wolverines, I enjoyed that montage as well. We see Tiny Wolverine, which was actually comic book
Yes.
accurate Wolverine. I was like, oh, that's adorable. that's hilarious. Like that's what it would have been.
Even the Cavalrine.
Oh yeah, the Cavalrine was fun. That was fun. I'm trying to figure out if that was what that's a specific reference to. Like, was Henry Cavill up for Wolverine once upon a time? Like, I know he's up for James Bond, but I don't think he was old enough to be Wolverine in 1999, 2000.
But I did like the Deadpool quip of like, "We'll take care of you better than those assholes down the street."
Yeah, no, that's fun. There's a lot of industry jabs. Obviously, there's a lot of "fuck you, Fox."
Okay,
Disney doesn't want us to do this.
I was gonna try to find that clip because that was gonna be the intro of, but I don't know why. That might have been the biggest laugh that I had throughout the whole movie
again, it's
when
of all the
when
fourth wall
Deadpool
breaking
finally
stuff.
finds out he's joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Fuck you, Fox, and then he headbutts the fucking monitor.
Yeah.
Like,
Screw you, fucks! I'm going to Disneyland.
Oh, he drops an F bomb. He doesn't.
No, he said
Him
screw
saying,
screw you, Fox. I'm going to Disneyland. Fuck. So then he says fuck something. I can't remember exactly what he says.
no, so you asked me to help you try and find that audio clip, and when I typed in "screw you, Fox," it came up "fuck you, Fox." So that's and I just saw the movie Monday, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But that's a very funny scene. Yeah. Again, I liked the Wolverine montage. Again, like we see Wolverine missing his hand. We see him with the eye patch from his original short series. There's a scene where he's crucified. That was pretty fucking intense. That was surprisingly more intense than the actual comic book itself at the time.
Well, yeah,
So,
I didn't, because I'm not well versed on the comic books. So I watching it in the movie, I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? And then I later found out that actually happens in a comic.
Yeah. What the fuck? With the exception of the Calverine, all of those were comic book references. So like there's a scene where he's hanging out in the alley and he's actually missing a hand. That's a comic book reference. I want to say Days of Future Past, but it might be another alternate future where they have to save the day. Anyway, yeah, that was a good montage. And then what else? Geez. So cameos. Yeah, I thought it was fun. We got to see Chris Evans.
That
that threw me off. I was like, oh, did they really bring back Captain America? No, they brought back Johnny Storm. And I was like, okay.
But everyone, including Deadpool, thought it's Captain America.
Yeah, because he's been Captain America for the last 15 years. Yeah, it was a perfect.
That again, it's no surprise that this man has very good comedic timing. But when he was like, "Flame on," and Ryan was like, "Wait, what?"
He's gonna say it. He's gonna say it. He's gonna say it. I just said it. Yeah. Anyway. What else? And then the other cameo.
The other like, I thought Chris Evans as a cameo was like mind blowing.
Yeah.
But then the other ones we got, I did not see them coming at all.
Not only did I not see those coming, but again, going back to our spoiler-free review, Chris Evans' length of the movie, I honestly thought was what we were going to get with Wolverine. No. And then when we do get the other cameos, like, well, they're going to be here for 5 minutes. No, they're actually here for quite a while. They are main supporting players. So we're talking about Laura X-23 from Logan. She is a full lady now. That's crazy.
Grown up now.
All grown up and speaking perfect English. Congratulations, Rosetta Stone. Electra, Jennifer Garner. And then it took me a second. We were like, oh, is Daredevil here? And he's like, no, he ain't here. I was like,
that's the Ben Affleck one, right? I don't think Ben Affleck.
That is the Ben Affleck one. They were married. I forget if they were married before or after Daredevil, but now they're divorced. And so she's like, yeah, we're not missing Daredevil. Don't worry about that. And then, of course, Wesley Snipes' Blade shows up. That was quite a nice surprise.
Yes.
And then they even, again, industry jab, like, there's only one Blade. And there's never going to be another. And then just that look
Deadpool wink.
Yeah, again, because Mahershala Ali is supposed to be the new Blade. But that was announced 5 years ago. Now, to be fair, there's been a pandemic, a writer, and an actor strike. Excuse me, not a director, an actor strike. So there's 3 things that's been holding that up. However, they've not even gotten to the pre-production, past the pre-production stage. Like, that thing is just cursed, and we might not ever see it, honestly. However, there actually has been a second Blade. Are you familiar with the rap group Onyx? They were a thing in the 90s for a minute.
Is it like ONYX or something?
Yeah. And they had the one song, Slam, da 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 da. Let the boys be boys. All right. Anyway, that's their big hit. One of the dudes in the group, his name was Sticky Fingers, and he played Blade on a very short-lived TV series, Blade, the TV series. He wasn't bad, but the show was not good. So I do have to correct Wesley on that. There's been more than one Blade, but yeah, you are the original and you are the best, sir. So and then
The
still on
pièce
cameos
de
here,
résistance.
Channing Tatum's Gambit. One, I
That
was
popped
surprised
me.
they did that, and then I almost started laughing for the wrong reasons when he started talking. I was like, oh my God. But he sold it, man. He did. I'm not gonna say he stuck the landing, but he did not deviate. He kept that thing going. Deadpool making fun of him was very funny. But I believed he was Gambit. I was like, oh, this was gonna be the Gambit we were gonna get in like 2017. When did the original Deadpool come out?
2016.
Okay, so this was so yeah, 2017. Channing Tatum's Gambit got shelved because they were trying to make a $150 or $150 million movie for Gambit, and then Ryan Reynolds made Deadpool for like 60 million something. It was nothing compared to what they make movies for today. And then of course that thing made 300 plus $1 million, and they're like, yeah, we're not doing your $150 million Gambit movie anymore, stupid, get out of here. And so that movie got shelved. So I guess this was a way to make it up to him, but it was interesting to see what his Gambit would have been. Will we see it after this now? Remains to be seen. But they had a funny scene. Oh,
if I had to guess, and this would be a total guess, depending on, because I enjoyed it, you enjoyed it, but based on the overall reaction of Channing Tatum's Gambit, I wouldn't be shocked if there's one of those like short, like maybe like a 4 episode Disney Plus shows with it, maybe. Depending on, because I think he would do it for the cheap, because this is one of his. This is like Gambit to Channing Tatum is like Deadpool to Ryan Reynolds. This is like he's in love with this character. So I could see him saying that happening, but who knows? Total guesswork. Who knows?
Yeah, again, the original Deadpool put the nail in that project's coffin because they were just like, oh no, we can make a successful superhero movie for half of what you're asking, and maybe I would like to think like we'll figure out a way to slash the budget, but I think they just made up their minds and like we don't have any confidence in this. There was a interesting scene where they're all the 5 or 6 of them are all talking, and Deadpool, Elektra, and Blade are all like, someone knocked on the door. It was the TVA, and then I got abducted and sent here. Gambit's story is quite different. He's like, I don't even know how I got here. I think I was just born here. And that's because, again, the project got scrapped. So that it was just immediately just thrown into the thing.
He got X'd before he even got beginning. Hence,
Yes.
I was born here. It's a very good line.
It's a good line. And then he also makes another quiz like, I think I'm gonna make my name here. Well, and I was like, we'll see. It was a good action. It was a good action scene, good fight scene at the end there, or second to the end. Yeah, we shall see what happens with this. I would not be upset if we got a Channing Tatum Gambit again. Does he get his own movie? I don't know. Does he get his own TV show? Kind of hope not. They're all kind of garbage. Like
Loki was a great TV show.
I understand why people liked the first season of Loki, and then I just was not into the second season at all. I didn't watch any of it, maybe one episode, but I did not get into it. But having said that, because of the TVA, there's that Loki tie-in, and without having seen anything of season 2, I don't feel like I missed anything. And it's one of those things like, did I need to see the first 2 Deadpools to understand? No, probably not. Did I need to see Loki? Actually, I don't think you do. They do a pretty good job of explaining what the TVA is right there.
Yeah. They do he does a quick synopsis of, hey, there is we protect the master timeline, and this is what happens when shit happens, and now we have to erase some shit. Boom.
So, we get the Deadpool core, which I could do with or without.
Yeah, I wasn't that. Well,
it was fine, but maybe that's the 15 minutes we could shave off of this thing, because they do that whole one take fight, and then everyone except for Nice Pool survived somehow. Um, I
But
was
it
trying.
did seem to me like they had that scene in mind. Ah, this would be really good. We have this epic fight scene where Deadpool and Wolverine kill 98, 99 other Deadpools.
Hmm.
And then the punchline is they all come back to life. But then they didn't have a get out of it. And so that bit where shit, what's his
Peter.
name? Peter turns up and
Yeah.
everyone's suddenly all nice. It's like it's funny, but it's like it wasn't a
Yeah.
great way. Yeah, I didn't love that bit. I must
They
admit.
had to end it somehow, and of course, Deadpool loves Peter. That's a sugar bear. I love Peter, and apparently the lady from the TVA really loves Peter. I would have liked to have seen something extra with that, where they're like she just knocks on his door and then starts a thing there because those two were eyeballing each other for a minute. That was quite amusing to me. Anyway, back to the Deadpool core. Did you recognize any voices?
I did.
Who did you recognize?
Only one, to be fair.
Okay, who?
Well, I had suspicion, and then I looked it up, and I was correct in I guessed who played Lady Paul.
Okay, so I was completely wrong about that. I was like, oh, this is probably the Taylor Swift thing that everyone's been talking about since
Oh, that's a
football
good shout,
season.
though. It's a good shout.
I think we even talked about it on a previous Waffle Box. Like Lady Pool, that's Taylor Swift, right? 'Cause long blonde hair, swiveling hips. No, it's apparently Mrs. Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively. So
But I know there was a couple other voices in there, but I can't remember.
so Matthew McConaughey was Cowboy Pool.
Oh,
And then I would probably have to look up the other here, but that was the other name that caught my. I was like, oh, far out, man. Matt McConaughey was in this. Good for him.
I did like if you looked in the background, obviously each Deadpool's different design.
Hmm.
I did like the shout out to Wrexham where there was Welsh Pool.
I saw Welsh Pool. I saw Scotland Pool.
Oh, I
Scott
didn't
Pool.
see. Oh yeah. He had the kilt. Yeah, I remember the kilt
Yeah.
guy.
I believe there's a Moon Knight Pool, or that could have just been some Peruvian guy. I don't know, honestly.
And I didn't notice it when I was watching it, but some keen eye has screen captured it and zoomed in. There was a Deadpool where his suit was the Avengers suit from when they go back in time in Endgame or Infinity,
Oh,
whatever.
I don't think I noticed that.
No, yeah, I didn't notice it at the time.
Nathan.
This was like someone
Yeah.
saw it online.
You had to catch that Easter egg video.
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion was Headpool. That's
Who's
the
Nathan
severed
Fillion?
head. Nathan Fillion is in Firefly. Um, he's been in a bunch of stuff. He
Oh,
was.
I didn't look this up following, but I thought for some reason I thought the Easter egg was because his voice sounded familiar to me. I thought the headless Deadpool, or no, not the headless Deadpool, the head only Deadpool, was voiced by the guy who voiced Deadpool in the video game a few years prior to
Oh,
the movie
copy
coming
that.
out.
I see what
And
you're
I thought,
saying.
oh, that'd have been a cool Easter egg, but I didn't follow up and look that up.
He may have still been
Maybe I
in
was
the
wrong.
movies. No, but no. Nathan Fillion is Headpool. Um, the two Reynolds childs. Uh, Kid Pool is, I guess, Ryan Reynolds' daughter, and then Baby Pool. I don't know what gender Olin is, Olin, but that's also him and Blake Lively's kid. Um, Paul Mullen, I don't know who that is, but he played Welsh Pool. There's a Canadian Pool.
Oh, Paul Mullen is a striker who plays for Wrexham.
Of course he is. Of course he is. Oh, that's Welsh Pool. Gotcha. And then yeah, I was surprised at the cameos we got that weren't played by the original actors. So, like, example here, and I have this in front of me. The guy who played Toad was not the guy from the original one. Why
Was
am
he
I blanking?
not?
He was not.
He did a great enough job and looks kind of. They did the makeup very well then because I thought it was the same guy.
They did the makeup very well, but they never really focused on him. It's all very quick cuts or moving around. But some dude named Daniel Ramos played him as opposed to Ray Park, is the name I was blanking on, who was a Toad as well as a Darth Maul. Apparently, flashing your dick on Instagram will get you removed from a Ryan Reynolds movie.
I was gonna
That is
say,
fucking crazy.
surely he wasn't too busy for this, but I guess it wasn't his
was-
decision not to be in it.
No, no. And then Dogpool, I believe, has been brought up on a dumb world record on a previous Waffle
Oh,
Box.
is
That's
that the world's ugliest dog?
Peggy the Pug. I'm positive we brought her up once upon a
The
time, or
world's
at least
the world's officially world's ugliest dog or something, right?
yes, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And then Juggernaut, the X3 X-Men United Juggernaut,
That was supposed to
not
be Vinnie Jones.
not Vinnie Jones. It is some other bodybuilder named Aaron Reed, and he is quite intimidating in his 8x10 here.
I wonder why Vinnie
Uh,
Jones wasn't asked or wasn't in it.
because they filmed that shit in London. So great question.
Hmm.
I bet if we looked it up, I want to say there's a story out here where he's just like, I had a terrible time doing it, or it wasn't worth him traveling to it because they also do it in Atlanta. But I know they filmed a lot of this in London because of the Wrexham TV show. Because co-owner of the Wrexham team, Rob McElhenney, is a TVA soldier, and that was the whole thing in season 3. They went to the set of Deadpool 3, and it's one of those things where like, so this is a Marvel project, so we gotta blur out all of this except for Rob's face and Ryan's face. And like they're literally walking down a row of trailers. They're not even on a set, but like everything is blurred out except for McElhenney. And then because they can't, and they try to make sure that you didn't know what character he was playing, but then like Ryan Reynolds will go like, well, he might be this guy in this mask costume. He might be this guy in this mask costume. And they have him this full length triple fat goose parka. I guess it's cold, but also they are doing everything they can to conceal McElhenney's costume. However, there's a few shots where TVA is just right here, despite how tight that fucking parka was. And I was just like, oh, so he's a member of the TVA. I don't know which scene he's in, but that all happened here. So those are to the best of my knowledge, those are all the unknown cameos. But what did you think? Going back to cameos, the main 4. We talked about Channing Tatum. What did you think about the other 2? The other 3.
The cameos?
Yeah.
I thought
Like I liked Blade. I like Blade.
I
I
love
like
Blade.
Electra too.
I liked Electra, but I kind of like there could have been others that have been more of like, oh my god, that they could have brought in.
So
But
this was definitely like a love letter to the Fox.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, they
franchise.
could have brought in some like if they I don't know if they obviously maybe they might have they couldn't get them
Blade is new
or
line
whatever.
cinema, I know.
And they could have got other X-Men from the old X-Men. But then I was thinking about it. I like how they've spread it out a little bit across. So they've got an X-Men, they've got someone from the Fantastic Four in there, they've got someone from Daredevil. So I like how they did spread it. So it kind of made sense in that sense. But as I said, there could have been others that I would have popped harder for than Elektra, but I thought she was very good in this, and I thought it served its purpose very, very well. So yes, hats off to all the cameos, and it was like I like the fact that they didn't overkill it because it left me wanting more. Like after the movie, after I kind of decompressed and kind of consumed it in my brain, I did kind of like, oh, it would have been cool if there was more. Whereas I could have when you're in this multiverse environment. And it's a Deadpool silly movie. There was a part of me before seeing it where I was like, I hope they don't go overkill and just ruin it.
I mean,
that makes
again,
sense.
I was
I think they did a
biggest
perfect amount of
proponent
cameos
going into it, and I thought they did everything near perfect.
Do you know, going back all the way back to roughly the beginning of the movie, what I thought they did a very perfect thing is even though I wasn't thinking about it, they gave a reason to why what Deadpool was doing during the end game situation. At that point, he'd given up being a superhero and was selling used cars. I liked that. I don't know. Again, they didn't need to put that in there, but I kind of dug it that they made an excuse for Deadpool not being Deadpool at that time and era.
Do we again? So I'm fresher on this than you are, but do we remember where he lost his purpose or whatever? Like he they bring it up and then they actually show like him and Vanessa breaking up, and that's kind of
Yeah, they kind of
that wasn't the
glossed
best.
over it. So I think they left it
okay,
up
so
for
he just
you. Because
okay.
at the end of Deadpool 2,
Everything is right as rain.
everything is right as rain. He brought her back to life. Everyone's happy. And at the beginning of Deadpool 3, Deadpool and Wolverine, they're separated.
Mhm.
So, and the way they kind of did some flashbacks, and after Cassandra Nova fucked with his brain, and we had some more flashbacks, I kind of guessed that after he fixed it, quote unquote, and brought her back to life, he decided, I'm not going to risk messing with anything, so I'm going to stop being a superhero. And I guess lost his way, and that's where she fell out of love with him, I guess.
Okay.
But yes, I had to guess that. I had to piece it together myself, so they didn't really piece it together very well.
Better explanation than what I got. I still don't know. So yeah, I'm still confused with why they pulled that Deadpool out of Universe 10,000, and like we want to put you in Marvel proper. I don't know why they wanted to do that, and then I don't know why they broke up. But I've had that conversation by the way with the girlfriend at the table. Like, so what do you want to do? I don't know how to fix this. You just want to break up? Like, I've been there. It's
I'm keeping the toaster.
counterproductive. Keep the toaster.
It's a good toaster.
Okay.
Um,
That's a reference to something I'm not getting, but that's okay. That's okay.
No, it was just the first inanimate object that come into my head.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. That's how my brain works. But yeah. The ending. Let's talk about the ending real quick.
Yeah, man. What are we going to talk about?
I thought, again, they did a masterful job because it was an ending which, once it was done, where Deadpool and Wolverine teaming up and holding hands to save the world, it was
That is
so
true. The world was saved because these two men held hands.
It was so cheesy and obvious, but yet at the time I didn't see it coming.
Yeah. I was so they get into this whole situation where like you got to bridge the connection between the matter and the antimatter tubes, and Deadpool's just not that long enough, and he's trying to pull the cable, and he can only pull the cables. And I was like, just use your sword, stupid. Just use your sword and stab it thing. And then Wolverine showed up, and then they held hands, and it was fine. No,
exact same ending as the first Guardians of the Galaxy, I might add.
I doubt they did that on purpose, but yes.
Where they would have been destroyed, but because they all held hands, they had more power and they survived.
I mean, getting into men talking about their feelings at the top of their show, that scene makes me cry.
Guardians of the Galaxy does have a lot of tear-jerking moments.
No, dude, that first movie is amazing still. Wolverine, this variant's Wolverine, again, like I said in the non-spoiler part, like Hugh Jackman brings the goddamn drama in this, dude. Like he's the perfect counterbalance for Ryan Reynolds' wackiness. Could he have done more? Should he have done more? Like, again, like 85% of his performance is fuck you, stab, stab, stab. However, then there's times where you're just like, I failed everybody. I can't forgive myself. I hate this. This is a terrible burden I put upon myself, and I don't know what to do. Like
when he's talking to his quote clone / daughter by the campfire,
X-23,
and he starts crying real tears.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and she says, that bit that got me, where she was like, "You don't have to say it." And he goes, "No, I need to say it."
Yeah, man. Sometimes you need to say that shit. And she was not prepared for that. Like, not necessarily him saying it, but like what he said. She was like, "Oh fuck, it was worse than I thought it was going to be." Oh Jesus Christ!
Oh, I just thought you left the gas on. Oh my god.
So, and then let's get back to Cassandra Nova, dude. She's a great villain. She's a great villain. I think they could have done more with her. I'm not saying they didn't do enough, but I would have, again, always leave them wanting more. But I think they could have done more with her.
Well, that is the beauty of the current multiverse phase that Marvel's in. It's almost like this is an audition. Because if people like her, then they can magically make her come back again from another variant or some shit.
I mean, as always, when I do my prep for this, I was like, oh, I don't know this actor. What do I know this actor from? So I can like give some references. Like Sean Levy did Free Guy, and he also has Hugh Jackman experience. He did Real Steel, the Rock'em Sock'em Robots movie from 15 years ago.
So bad.
Oh, really? I think it's a delightful children's movie, but it's a children's movie. So anyway, Emma Corrin, she does a lot of, I don't want to say wafy stuff, but it's like, like BBC proper. So like she was in, well, not BBC. She was in Netflix's The Crown and played Princess Diana for eight episodes. I've not seen one episode of the show. Again, this is all on my notes here, but like she's in a version of Pride and Prejudice, Anna of Green Gables. Like she's in all that fancy shit. So for her to like just be in this comic book movie and then being like one of the most intimidating villains I've seen in the MCU in a while, I was just like, damn, this bitch is killing it, dude. Like, I want to see more from her now. She should definitely do more villain roles. I don't know what the hell she's been doing.
Well, she should definitely keep that look as well. Never grow your hair back.
I think she'll disagree with you on that too. However, I found it interesting that she looked very much like James McAfee.
Right?
Yeah, like the eyes, the rotation of her face, like I guess the skull helps, but like yeah, just definitely the eyes. I was like, is that really James McAvoy's sister? Oh shit. But yeah, she was amazing. I wanted to see more out of her.
But you was right in sense of like she was a very intimidating villain because even in that short window when she was technically a good person again, or
very
she turned,
short window.
she turned nice for a short time. Even then, it was kind of like,
this bitch
really?
Do something.
There's gonna be a catch here. There's gonna be a catch. But yes, incredible work. Incredible work. What else can we talk about in this movie? What else happened?
Yeah, I mean, geez,
I guess
I think
ultimately
we hit all the big strokes.
The last thing I guess we can talk about is theories moving out because obviously Deadpool suggested, or no, asked Wolverine if he was going to see him again, and Wolverine said probably not, and then walked off. But then they had dinner at the end, blah blah blah. And then they had the nice Fox Universe tribute music video over the credits. But also just the way it ended. Do you see this? I can't see it like just because of the money involved and how successful it is. But this also kind of wrapped up in a way like if we never see another Deadpool movie or Deadpool, I wouldn't be shocked. This seemed like a very
finite ending.
Tying a knot, boom, perfect 3 movies. There you go. What do you think?
Because it's now Wednesday. I think it's like August 1st or whatever it is. It's a full week since the movie's come out. By Monday morning, the matinee that I saw, worldwide, this thing made over $400 million. Again, worldwide. It made $211 million domestically. It broke all sorts of stupid records. It's the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. It is the 6th highest grossing movie of anything. I don't see us not getting more Deadpool. Do we get Deadpool 4? I don't know. Is he going to pop up in an Avengers movie? If he does, I think he has to be in it very little because you can't keep breaking the fourth wall in an Avengers movie or a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Like those movies are also over the top, but they still have a bubble around them. Whereas Deadpool is just that motherfucker will kick the box open. And again, he grabbed the cameraman in a scene, pulled him off to the side, grabbed the boom mic, made a declaration, and then headbutted the camera. Like you can't keep doing that. You can't do that in Avengers Doomsday. So I don't know. I don't think we've seen the last of Deadpool with Ryan Reynolds. How much more we get of it, that I don't know. Have we seen the last of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine? I don't think he gets exhausted doing all those sit-ups and eating 6,000 calories a day.
I think it was
just to get that.
8,000 I last saw.
If it's 12,000, whatever, man.
It's
Like,
ridiculous.
he is not getting younger, and to keep that six-pack going even for 5 minutes, it's a lot of goddamn work. And I know that's why he was happy to do Logan and like just end the career. Just like, I can't keep doing this, guys. Like, I know the ladies like me with my shirt off, but this is ridiculous. Like, it's exhausting, and I get it. The reflection of perfection here gets it, but yeah, have we seen the last of Wolverine? Because we can have a Wolverine movie with his shirt on.
Yeah, he could keep doing the yellow outfit, but this time with the sleeves and everything. He doesn't have to show anything.
Yeah. What did we think of the uniform? He made it work. I think that would have looked silly in the year 2000, but in 2024, I don't know why. 24 years, 25 years later, it worked. He made it work.
Oh, and when he put the hood on as well. Oh.
You know what? I was, for a second, I was like, oh, that's ridiculous. But I was like, nope, he's making it work. He's making it work.
Well, I think it's because obviously the way I guess the costume works once it's fit and blah blah blah, and I guess because of the eyes, some of it is CGI'd on as well.
Mm-hmm. Has to be.
Because like Deadpool, his eyes on the mask were emotive; they were kind of moving about. But yeah, when he started pulling on like one of those like Hello Kitty hoodies, I was like, oh my god, this looks ridiculous. But once it was on and he was ready to go, I was like, that looks fucking badass.
He made it work. So,
and that great scene where him and Deadpool jumped out the back of the bus together, and then Deadpool fell on his face. That was great stuff.
It's comic accurate, and that would have happened in the comic too, where they would have had that dope pose, and then the next panel would have been Deadpool flat on his face, going, "How did I fuck that up? I fucked up the landing. Oh my god, what the hell?" Yeah. Again, this was a huge surprise for me. I thought this would have been very mid, as the kids say, mediocre, as I would say. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time. I saw it sober, which is actually a rarity for me on this show. Do I want to see it again? I'm not in a rush, but I enjoyed it. I couldn't tell anyone to not see this. I couldn't tell anyone really a negative thing about this. There's, nitpicks, and I love to pick my nits, but this is an enjoyable film. Yeah, they did a good job with it. That's called being objective, kids.
I won't get off that fence yet. But yeah, I agree with your overall score. 4 out of 5. There could have been bits there that I don't think they could have made it better, but like I said, I think there was certain things in it that it's like they could have done without that, and it would have been better.
Break it down, man.
I think the 100 Deadpool battle, and the way they got out of it with Steve or whatever his name, I keep forgetting his name, Peter. This seemed, even though it made sense, like you say, Deadpool loves Peter, so it makes sense that all the variants love their Peter, but it just kind of went where they're all trying to massacre Deadpool, but all of a sudden, oh, you have a Peter too? Oh, now we're all... It reminded me a little bit of Batman and Superman suddenly becoming best friends because their mother's name's Martha. It kind of like gave me horrible flashbacks to that. So maybe that's why it was. I didn't like it. I didn't.
Well, they definitely didn't become best friends, but I understand what you're saying.
Batman no, I remember it almost like in the next scene, Batman's talking to someone, and he's like, "Oh, I'm Batman. I'm Bruce, whatever. I'm a friend of Superman's." He introduced himself as a friend of Superman.
Yeah, because he was trying to save Martha Kent, and it's like, I tried to murder your son, but now I change my ways. Yeah, no, he can't go into all that. So he has to say, I'm a friend of your son. Um, Dead, Dead, Deadpool versus Batman versus Superman is the worst, most hostile reaction I've ever had to a movie, to the point where the next day, the dude I was hanging out with was like, I know we were saying we're gonna get drinks, but I gotta go. And I'll tell you what I did in a minute, kids. However, the next day I'm looking in the mirror and it's like, the fuck is wrong with me? It's just a movie. Superman's been rebooted so many goddamn times. Who cares? Like, this isn't this isn't real life. It's yeah. You did way too much last night, Kush. You did way too much to this movie here. And ever since then, I haven't had really any hopes up for any movie because I didn't have hopes up for that movie. I was just like, I don't ever want to go through that again. However, here's where I fucking lost my shit. So again,
I'm sorry for bringing this up now.
No, it's actually very funny. It's a jab at me, but I still find it funny myself. Like you just said, these two are trying to murder each other, and then in another scene, Batman's like, "I'm a friend of your son's." That part didn't piss me off. What pissed me off is he's walking, he's like, he was trying to make a difference, and now I'm going to pick up his mission statement and I'm going to carry that forward. And I was like, you were trying to murder this motherfucker just 20 minutes ago.
A fucking kryptonite spear to his throat.
He had kryptonite grenades. Gas propelled grenades with kryptonite.
You wanted to end this mofo.
If there's a 1% chance it could be evil, you wanted to kill Superman. Don't pretend you weren't trying to do that, Batman.
And now suddenly you're the best member of his cult.
Yeah, you're his biggest fan now. Fuck you, Batman. Also, so finally we're at the funeral, and then that dirt starts levitating off the casket, and then we get the title card, directed by Zack Snyder. I flipped out both birds and screamed as loud as I could for all 500 people to hear me over the loudest music. Fuck you. I don't want to scream into the microphone, but I want to still explain what happened there. And that's when, like, my friend next was like, yeah, I gotta go, dude. You're mentally imbalanced. Later. So, since Batman v Superman, I don't get my hopes up, and I don't really have too many disappointments these days, because I'm just like, it's just a stupid movie. Despite the fact that I do this reviews every week, it's not that big of a deal, guys. I've actually seen a couple of people go like, fuck Deadpool and Wolverine. I was like, what was your problem that day, dude? Like, this again, I was this movie's biggest opponent going into it. It's very enjoyable. It's very enjoyable. So
yeah, if you're not familiar with our work, throughout the whole build up of this, even from the very beginning, I was like, oh my god, I can't wait, oh my god, I can't wait. And Kush was like, whatever, it's probably not gonna be that good.
I was expecting your disappointment. I was expecting you to be disappointed. I was expecting everyone to go like, it's the third movie. Third movie always sucks. Why is the third movie always gonna suck? This is actually one of the better third movies.
Better than Back to the Future 3, that's for sure.
Oh, I really like that one.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, we can debate about that later. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Deadpool Wolverine. There we go. Let us know what your thoughts in the comments section below. If you loved it, you hated it, yada yada yada. Like the video, help the algorithm, and all that bullshit. But yeah. Thanks for watching Kush's movie review of Deadpool and Wolverine. We'll see you again soon. Oh, that was a long one. That was almost an hour conversation.
Wolverine. Dude, I wonder if we broke the Taylor Swift record.
Ooh, that'd be fun to look back. Who knows? But on that note, thankfully, the next segment won't last long because I got a very short and to the point story as we end the show, as always, with this week's Feel Good Story of the Week.
That's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
This week's feel-good story takes part in a store. Long story short, we know teachers are criminally underpaid in this country for what they do. They have to put up with kids all day long, and kids are cunts, and we all hate kids, so we can all agree on that. And they have to try to educate the fucking cunty kids, but they don't get paid enough. Anyway. First grade teacher Emily Vinzan was at the store filling her cart with supplies for her classroom. Vinzan, known for her generosity, also buys extra backpacks and lunch boxes, anticipating that some of her students might arrive without them. All of these expenses come out of her own pocket, as we've already pointed out, because teachers don't get paid enough and it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Anyway, as Vinzan approached the checkout, mentally preparing to pay the hefty $800 bill, it says, seems a bit of a went off of there a little word point. I don't know, was she mentally prepared? Anyway, whatever. A man standing behind her made an unexpected offer. He insisted on covering the entire cost of her supplies.
Okay.
I was honestly asking him, are you sure? Like, do you just want to get a $20 gift card? So she's already like, she's still like, I'll take some of your money. I mean, I'm not stupid, if you, but you know,
every little bit helps.
Yeah. Because I was sort of disbelief that he wanted to purchase everything in my cart for my class. Vincent shared with Fox 4 News. With the new school year approaching, Vincent can now dedicate her attention to her students' educational needs without the added worry of covering the costs of essential supplies. Very nice man for helping out a teacher who's criminally underpaid, as we said, to look after country kids. Also, it does look like, because I don't want to be pessimistic here, but I'm pretty sure we can all agree that this man, I'm going to assume Emily Vincent is a good-looking girl.
Oh,
because,
yes.
And he was definitely, he might have been like, hey, I want to help the kids, but he was also...
She's not wearing a tag that says, I'm a school teacher. No. Yes, Mike.
He had ulterior motives here.
Yes,
but,
yes, and yes.
But, it doesn't say, and I'm assuming it's not going to say at the article, Emily also added that she banged the brains out of the guy later that night. Obviously, it's not going to say that.
What if it did, though?
What if it did?
But she wouldn't. She's not doing.
But
Emily's not that kind of a lady.
I was so happy with his huge generosity and his huge dick. She didn't put that. But I hope that's what happened, because that's karma. Generosity comes full circle. So hopefully they both ended the evening in mutual satisfaction. Let's just say that.
That would be nice.
That would be a very nice feel-good story. Anyway, on that note,
you did the right thing for the wrong reasons, sir.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That wraps up episode 160 of the Waffle Box. If you have made it this far and you're not already subscribed or following us on the podcast, whatever, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, hit the follow button, give us a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We'll sure shit appreciate it. Kush, got anything to add before we wrap up this week's show?
No, I had a great time. Another great episode in the bank here. Check out an episode of Kush and Kai. I don't know, there's 60 of them. You'll love it. We also did 100 episodes of Kush and Kai microdose. We probably talk about Gambit. Probably talk about Deadpool. We'll probably talk about several things we covered on this episode. So go into the Kush and Kai archives. It's fun. You'll find that on the bosnet.family and Spotify or whatever platform we upload to.
Boom. Retro Kush.
Retro Kush. It's good times. It's bad audio, but it's good times.
You can follow me at Mike Fish, Mike with a Y, not an I, on Twitter. You can follow him, Kush Hayes. Or is it Kush Hayes or Kush? Kushford Hayes on the Book of Face. But it's a good night from me. It's a good night from him. Lathan, any final words?
It was a pleasure, as always, to work with you two fine fellows. Now I'm off to twerk for 4 hours to cure cancer. See you all next week.
Yes. That I want to see.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit. But until next time, take care of yourselves. and each other.
That's all, folks.
Play me off, Johnny.